viewers, welcome to today's Big Brother 19 updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Deborah Deneen. Deborah, what's up, girl? Thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate it. And if you guys want to be house guest of the day like Deborah, check out our Patreon link below. So I just want to say, somebody mentioned in the comments that I talk too fast in these videos, and I'm sorry about that. It's a combination of two things. Number one, there's just so much information to get to. I don't want these videos to be like hours long every day. And number two, when I get excited, I talk really quickly. So you can tell my excitement level by how fast I'm talking. Alright, so anyway, let's talk about what's going on in the house. Yesterday they had the Power Veto competition. The players were Josh, Jess, Mark, Elena, Christmas, and Alex. A little bit of drama here. Cody was picked to play in this competition, but Christmas pulled out her freaking ring of replacement and was like, She swapped in for Cody, and Cody was literally crying about it. He was very upset. So after all that, Christmas could not even participate in the competition. So that was just one person out of there, because it was OTEV. You can't be running around during OTEV with a broken foot. You just can't do it. It's dangerous. So Mark won the competition, which I gotta say I was a little bit surprised about, but good for him. I think it was down to Mark and Alex in the end. I think, okay, Elena was eliminated first, then Jess, then Josh, then Alex, and then Mark won. I believe that's the right order. So yeah, he's pretty excited about that. So when the feeds came back, Christmas and Josh were talking in the have-not room, and Christmas is like, Mark needs to stay on the block. Are you kidding me? He just won the Power Veto. But she's telling Josh if he does use it on himself. If he uses it on himself. I can't believe that we're at an if right now. Really? When he uses it on himself, Christmas offers to go up in his place. She says, who's gonna freaking vote me out? It's fine. Just, you know, just put me up. I'm cool with it. So Josh is like, oh, I don't want to do that to you. He's thinking maybe Raven. I think she also volunteered, and he's like, she hasn't really done anything yet, so I think I'll put her up. Alright, so then Alex comes in, and she's like, you know what? If we put enough pressure on Mark, I don't think he'll use the Power Veto on himself. Christmas is like, tell him if he doesn't use it, he'll be proving that he's not with Cody. When can he stop proving himself? I mean, really, when is enough enough? You know what else he'd be proving? That he's an idiot. Seriously, if you win the Power Veto and you're up on the block and you don't use it on yourself, just get the hell out because you suck. So then, I'm very passionate about that. So then Christmas and Paul were making plans in the Rose bedroom, and she's like, I just wanted to let you know that Josh will be talking to Mark about not using the veto. So it's going to be our job to go talk to Mark and reassure him that we won't vote him out if he's still up on the block. I feel like this is the only whacked out season where this is even a discussion, you know? I feel like in past seasons, somebody's on the block, they win the veto, it's fine. Maybe you ask them kind of jokingly once, like, hey, what if you don't use the veto? And then it's just dead. Nobody talks about it again. But this season, no. Okay, so then, anyway, where are we? Okay, Paul says Jess will be going this week, and then hopefully Cody next week. But if they can't get Cody, they'll go for Elena. And Paul is really fed up with Elena at this point. I mean, he's been sticking up for her this week because Josh wants her out. But he's been like, no, we'll keep her around, it's fine. But now he's starting to get pissed because of her behavior. They saw that she was showering with Jess and laughing with her in the bathroom. So they're not upset about them, like, showering together because they're showering together, just like because they don't want her hanging out with Jess and Cody. But in all honesty, they had the shower curtain away so that she could like get some of Jess's hot water because she's a have-not, and Big Brother was all like, Elena, stop that. So anyway, they weren't happy about that. It looked like they were having a good time. They're like, what the hell is that all about? So Paul says Elena has a shitty attitude, and he's sick of it. So Christmas is saying, yeah, I think Elena is probably going to stay loyal to Cody once Jess leaves. And I don't agree with that. I think, yeah, if Cody wins HOH, of course she's going to be like, I'm with you. Don't get rid of me. But I think Elena is definitely more loyal to Paul than Cody. Like, Elena is always looking for Paul's approval. Come on. So then Mark was in the money room with Paul, Kevin, Alex, and Jason. And he's like, you know what, guys? I just want to let you know now, I'm going to use the veto. It's not that I don't trust you, but this is Big Brother. You know, he feels like he has to use the veto on himself, and he is right. So then they all tell him, it's cool, you won the veto, you do what you want. They so don't think it's cool. Alright, so then Paul was in the HOH room with Josh, and Josh is practicing the pitch that he wants to give to Mark to get him to not use the veto. And he's going through his points, like, you'll prove that you're not with Cody, blah, 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 we'll trust you, and it'll show that you trust us. So Paul's like, yeah, that's great. I don't think you're going to be able to convince him to not use it, but go ahead and try, because you never know. So then he's saying, just go ahead and put Christmas up in his place when he does use it. Have a boss-ass speech ready. Don't let Cody and Jess interrupt you, because he hates that. And he says, then we'll get rid of Jess this week. And Josh, we know, wants to get rid of Elena, but at this point, he's not really fighting it. He's just like, yeah, we'll get rid of Jess. So it's hard to tell if he's given up on getting rid of Elena or if he's just kind of like humoring people right now. I don't think Josh is done with this yet. I think he's still going to try to get rid of Elena this week. I think he's just like taking a break and letting things settle a little bit for now. So Paul's letting him know, like, I get that you don't want Elena around and you don't trust her. And it's great because now everybody took note of Elena laughing and hanging out with Jess and Cody. So there's an agenda now. We get rid of Jess this week, and then Cody, and then Elena is the next target after that. So, like, we will get rid of her. I don't think that's what Josh wants to hear. So then let's check in with Jess and Cody. They're all sad in the rose bedroom. They're both crying on and off. Cody keeps pulling the blanket up so that nobody will see their tears, but they know that she's likely going this week. Is she even going to try to campaign? Because there is a chance that she could stay, and it's really going to suck if she just, like, rolls over and dies. That's just sad. I hate when people do that. So, hopefully right now she's just kind of, like, taking it all in, and then she's going to come back and hopefully campaign. Because I would like to see that. So, Cody is saying that he's hoping he can stick around for a bit, get some revenge on people. And then he, like, lists off the people he wants to get revenge on, and it's, like, half the house. I mean, he wants to go for Josh, and Paul, and Alex, and Mark, and Elena. Everybody, basically. Matt and Raven. So, yeah. It's going to be interesting. He says even if he doesn't win this next HOH competition, he's still got a shot at the safety from the Temptation competition. He's still got the POV, so he could be around for a little while. He's going to see what he can do. Meanwhile, Josh makes his pitch to Mark in the Apple Lounge. Okay, so Josh is like, listen, man, hear me out. I have an idea. You don't use the veto, and the knobs stay the same. Really? So he's saying, like, it'll show us that you're not with Cody and Jess. Some people have doubts right now about you and your loyalty, and this would get rid of those doubts. It wouldn't, though, honestly. Even if Mark did not use the veto on himself this week, yeah, he'd be safe for the week. But then he's still, like, on their target list after they get rid of Cody and Mark. So, I mean, sorry, Cody and Elena. So it's not really going to help him, but they're trying to tell him it is. So then Josh, I can't say Josh again. Josh asks Mark, I need to do some tongue exercises or whatever. Josh asks Mark, what do you think about all this? And then Mark starts to say, like, ugh, and Josh goes, oh, okay. He immediately interrupts him. And eventually Mark does get to talk, and he's like, you know what, I feel like I really proved myself this week, and you guys can trust me. I was really cool about being a pawn. I didn't fight it at all. But this is Big Brother, you know? I won the power veto, and I'm taking myself off. And Josh is like, I respect that. I respect that. Mark is saying it's not that I don't trust you guys, but I won the veto. So Josh is saying, I do really appreciate how you've acted since you've been nominated. You didn't push back at all. You've been really cool about it. So Mark is saying, I will prove that you guys can trust me further by winning this next HOH, and Cody is his target. So he's saying he's going to take out Cody if he wins. I don't know that that's 100% true. It would be really interesting to see what he would do, but who knows. So then Paul, Mark, and Elena were in the rose bedroom a little while later, and Paul tells Elena, you need to stop acting all bummed out because it's really sketching people out. You're still hanging out with Cody and Jess, even though I've told you 1,000 times it's not a good look. So she's just like, what? I just have a migraine and I'm like irritated. And Paul's saying, why are you irritated? Why? You made it to the jury. You should be happy that Jess didn't win the POV because that means she's gonna go. So he's telling her, as they've talked about before, it's all about perception. If you're upset, you need to keep that to yourself because it's not looking good for you. So then Elena leaves, and Paul tells Mark again, like, she needs to stop acting like that. And Mark is like, I totally get it now. You know, I had slop brain for like 3 weeks, but everything's clearer now. It's all making sense. But she's not listening to me. She's just not going to listen to me. So they again say that she should be happy that Jess lost. Alright, so then it was time for a real meeting of the minds in the HOH room. We got Josh, we got Kevin, Alex, Jason, and Christmas. So Christmas is saying, Josh, you have to tell Mark not to use the power of veto. She's like, yeah, he won the veto, and it's his choice to use it. But you're HOH, and you can tell him not to use it. That's not how that works, okay? HOH and veto are separate, so the veto holder can do whatever they want. And it's really funny because she's saying, like, Mark needs to respect his HOH and stuff. But at the same time, where was all that respect when Josh was saying that he wants Elena out? Are you going to respect his wishes and follow through on that? Or are you going to go for Jess like you want to do? Right? Alright, so then Alex is saying if Mark uses it, he's showing he doesn't trust us. And she says if she won the power veto, she would have kept it the same. And I have a problem with this because I'm not sure if she meant if she won this veto and she wasn't on the block, she wouldn't, you know, she would leave it the same because, like, who cares? You're not on the block. But also, if she's saying she wouldn't have used it if she was nominated, she can go. Like, that's so stupid. So, anyway, and I don't believe her anyway. I feel like she would have used it if she was up on the block and she won the veto. So, Josh is saying if Mark uses it, he's going to put up Matt or Raven. They haven't really done anything yet in this game. People are getting really ticked off about that. And Christmas is still pushing for Josh to go and talk to Mark about not using it. What is Mark so worried about? Maybe that you guys are going to take him out? And again, I can't believe that this is even a discussion. Okay? It's ridiculous. So then, later, Paul, Matt, and Alex were at the dining room table with Josh, and they're like encouraging him to talk crap to Cody right before the next HOH competition, get him all riled up so that he won't be able to focus. So Paul is saying Cody's going to lose it without Jess here. So you don't have to get personal with it. It's part of the gameplay to just like rile him up. So he's saying tell him that he's the one who's responsible for his girlfriend leaving and he cost her $500,000, and just make sure that you're talking about Jess leaving and like blaming it on Cody because that's really going to affect him. So Josh is like, I don't know. I'm a little worried that Cody's going to beat the crap out of me. And they're like, oh no, what? It's not a big deal. You're going to be fine. And they're saying, you're just stating facts. People have done way worse. That doesn't make it okay. That's awful. So Josh, he just doesn't seem into it. I think he had a real wake-up call the other day when they had that huge blow-up. And he was just like, oh shit. What have we done? And then I think when he got his letter from his family in his HOH basket, it really like brought him back to real life, and he was like, I can't be acting like this. So I don't think he's into it. But anyway, Kevin and Paul were gaming in the HOH room yesterday. Kevin has been talking a lot about potentially pulling Cody in and working with him. So this is the first that I've seen Kevin telling Paul about this. I know that Jason and Alex brought it up to Paul that Kevin was talking about it, but I think this is the first that Kevin actually said this to Paul's face. So he's like, yeah, I really want to pull in Cody once Jess is gone. I think he could be a huge asset to our group. And Paul's like, I don't know. Cody really likes to talk, and I think if we try to go to him before this HOH, he's going to sell us out to everybody else, and it's just not going to end well. So Kevin's like, yeah, but we can keep him around until the final 7, have him do our dirty work, get rid of the other showmances. It'll be great. So Paul's like, I get what you're saying, but let's wait and see what happens with this next HOH. If we win, we can just take him out now and not have to worry about him. But if he's in power, yeah, we'll try and see if we can work with him. Like, that's not obvious. You wait until he gets power and then you're just like, hey, what if we work together? I don't think he'd take too kindly to that. So then Jason and Alex join them, and they're still talking about working with Cody, and Alex is like, I don't know, it sounds really dangerous. She's not into it. Josh comes in, and this is so messed up. This is the second time I've seen this happen. Paul does not want Josh in on this conversation, so he asks Josh to go and get a snack. so he'll leave the room. Paul keeps trying to kick Josh out of his own HOH room so he can have discussions with other people. Holy shit. Okay, so let's see. What else happened last night? Elena was walking around in some undies and a very thin shirt. It was freaking Nips Central. So she goes up to the HOH room where Josh, Mark, Paul, and Jason are all hanging out. And when they realize what she's wearing, Josh is just like, oh my god, oh, what are you doing? And he says, Elena, is this on purpose? And the way he said it was just so funny. But damn, was she like trying to get Mark to use that veto on her, or like trying to ensure some votes? I don't know, but it was a lot. The guys were freaking losing it. And Elena's like, what? Nipples are in right now. So Mark felt like it was very inappropriate, and he said that to her. I don't think he should be commenting on what she's wearing. I mean, she can wear whatever she wants. She can walk around freaking naked for all I care, whatever. But, I mean, it was a lot. But, like, if she wants to do that, fine. So, yeah, the guys were all, they were freaking out. Other than that, it was a really chill night. Not a lot of gaming going on. Lots of monkeying around. Lots of, like, jumping all over each other. They haven't learned their lesson from that Christmas incident. But today, Kevin and Cody were in the backyard, and Cody asks, is there any way to save Jess this week? And Kevin's like, oh, I don't know, man, I'm trying. He says that Jess is one of the top 2 female players, and he would love to have them on his side. We've heard already that Kevin is trying to work with Cody, so he's saying, just so you know, Cody, just to, you know, so it's very clear, the people screwing you guys over this week are the ones that you were protecting in the beginning. And Cody's like, oh, I know. So then Cody's saying, like, yeah, he's going to go after those people if he wins HOH. He says he's going to be a weapon for anyone who helps him out. And Kevin's just like, he's very excited to hear that. So Kevin's like, yeah, I'm going to see what I can do. And then next week we can go after Mark, Elena, Matt, Raven. We'll just take them out. And then we'll be around for like top 7. It'll be great. So then Kevin was telling Jason about this a few minutes later when they were walking the yard, and Jason still does not seem into it. I don't think he wants anything to do with Cody. I think he's totally on board to get rid of Cody next week, but Kevin is just really into this. So I hope that Kevin's not going to overdo it here and get himself in trouble, because it seems like everybody else wants wants Cody out next week. So Kevin needs to be careful here. He needs to tread lightly. But, I mean, it'll really pay off for him if Cody does win HOH, because I don't see Cody going after Kevin. Alright, so we're going to pick it up here tomorrow. I think now that the veto is over, Josh is probably going to start making some moves again, seeing if he can get the votes together to get out Elena. It's going to be interesting, though. I don't know if people will follow through on this if they don't have the approval from Paul, which is, like, insane, but I don't know. Are people going to go for it? We'll see. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, and until tomorrow, much love.